We are all creators in one way or another. Whether you are creating lovely things that are worth sharing with the world, or you are creating terrible things through thoughts that do not create beauty or joy or positivity in this world, things that elevate self and others, you are a creator. I am a creator. We are all artists. And truly there is an art to everything. That is why when people ask me, well, what are you? What do you do? I question within myself what would feel like the most appropriate response. Well, I am an artist. I am a musician. What is the difference? When I embarked on this journey of learning to be able to provide you all with my insights on my own journey, on navigating depression, on navigating the hardships in life, the real emotions that we feel and that we go through as we are faced with obstacles or opportunities, challenges. I noticed something about myself as I reflected on those times when I was really in the thick of that experience called depression. I also noticed patterns within communities who would speak about their feelings in less professional settings. You know how you can go on Reddit or you can find yourself in little online groups, just talk to people or go through comments and hear people commenting on all kinds of things. I never really got into that, whether I was depressed or, looking into these groups. Although I am aware that people talk on the internet. That's just a place where people talk. There is and has been and was a pattern that I saw. And that is something that I saw within myself. A disconnection between self and the idea or the reality of God, of a creator, a force bigger than oneself. I noticed a hastiness, a anger, a frustration within myself towards religion, towards people, groups, communities, religious groups who wanted me to believe in all different kinds of things. At a certain point in my journey, once I grew up a little bit and I realized the reality of the world and as I saw it through my own eyes. That mystical feeling, that wonder, that curiosity faded and turned into resentment. It turned into pain. It turned into a feeling of betrayal and ultimately into a feeling of apathy. I don't want to know. I don't really care. I'm good on all that. All I know is that I hate the world and everybody in it. Truly, that was the energy. So I have no problem isolating myself. I have no problem just doing things that are self-destructive. And I definitely don't have a problem ignoring and belittling people who try to push their beliefs on me. But I can also reflect on my experience before I got to that point. Before I started to passively and silently engage with those who felt a similar resentment or disinterest or those apathetic feelings. I still experienced that almost mysticism or that impression, really, of my relationship to the Creator, to God, to all that emulates that and symbolizes that source, that connection. So, no matter how many times I tried to run from that part of myself, it was something that in my heart I cherished, something that I knew to be a part of me. And over again, I witnessed on my journey, especially when things got really challenging, signs of a level of support and love that would redirect me back to this path of belief, of trust, of faith in a creator. Oftentimes, when we go through such deep states of suffering, of self-betrayal, when we let ourselves go, when we stop caring about our lives, when we no longer have the strength within to give a shit about ourselves and our lives, the tendency to want to blame something or someone outside of yourself becomes so strong. And in a world where there very well has been a lot of manipulation within these groups as to be as powerful as a creator, as the creator. It would be understandable why people would make the number one person to point at, or not person, but creator, God, to be the person to blame. Well, why would you do this? This is your fault, God. If you are real, doubt it. But when you look around, truly look around, look up, look down, look in, look inside of the seed, look unto the leaf, look at the air that we breathe. Enter into spaces that are new, that are different than this limited box that we often find ourselves in when we experience depression. Then tell me that there is not a creator that has created such magnificence. Tell me that you yourself are not an emulation of this. You yourself, a being who can also create. You can create life. How was I born? Asked the children. How did it happen? It's so practical. When a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, we are all like children. We've all been there. And just like these children, we have emotions. That aspect of ourselves does not go away. The same soul that you were when you were a child is no different than the soul that you are now. Perhaps the emotions are different, but the system itself of emotional guidance is not. You have energy, you have cells, you have legs, you have arms, you have lungs, and you have your breast and your back. So I ask you, sweet child, how did you come into being? Expanding your awareness. We shrink ourselves so much when we get into these negative thought loops. We make ourselves so small. Look around. There is infinite space around you. And although you cannot see it all, and you can see it all if you put forth the effort, but although you cannot necessarily see it all, the space is there for a reason. There are so many distractions. There are so many reasons why we might find ourselves gazing towards disbelief in self, in the magnificence of all of creation. Of course, when we look away from this beauty, from this birthright, we feel disempowered. We are disempowered. When we feel disempowered, we magnetize and amplify disempowering experiences and feeling states. People who are also disempowered and project disempowerment. Or perhaps they don't even project disempowerment, and that is simply how you perceive it, because this is the energy that you're in. Expand, take up space, and notice all of the beauty, the magnificence, that which is unexplainably, in essence, the emulation of pure creation, beyond your ability to fathom. And as you revel in this beauty, go forth with the knowing, with the understanding that you too are an emulation of this, and you are also a creator. What would you like to create? Ask yourself in this moment, if I could create anything right now with absolutely no limitation, there was absolutely no limitation, just for fun. If you had absolutely no limitation, what would you create? Who would you become? How would you create yourself? And to take it a step further, ask yourself, what is one thing, just one thing, one tiny step that I can take to move in that direction? Okay, so I'm glad I got to share that with you guys, but I would like to hit this gong behind me so that you can feel the vibrations. Setting the tone for any moment, taking a moment to just sit and take a breath. Feel into the vibrations. In this moment, there is a symphony of vibrations that is happening all around you. There are millions and millions of hearts beating at one time. There are tiny, almost imperceivable tappings of ants marching one by one, all at one time. There are leaves blowing. There are planes flying through the sky. Buttons being clicked, all the taps on your phone, all at one time. That's why sound is so powerful. Everything is frequency. Everything is a vibration. Everything is vibrating. And when you tune into this hum, into this energy, is a great way to center your energy, to remember your own magnificence. I'm gonna hit this gong for you. And before I hit it, just close your eyes. Take a breath. The nose and out through the nose. Just relaxing the tension in your body. Really breathing all the air possible out of that nose. Pushing it. And again, into the nose. Breathing in gratitude. Calm energy. Exhale. Really push that exhale. And in this next breath, breathe in that energy of what you would love to create without any limitation. Just breathe that in. Feel it in your entire body. Breathe it into every cell of your body. And when you exhale, breathe it out. Feel gratitude, maybe smile.